Catherine Gibbons. I'm the graduate recruiter at Philips, so I'm responsible for all of our placement year students and also our graduate schemes once you've graduated. I myself went to Kent University, studied psychology, and I graduated in 2012. And I've been at Philips now for just coming on 3 years.
So my name's Lucy and I'm on the Enabling Functions graduate scheme, so that consists of 2 rotations, Q&R and procurement, and I studied at Lancaster University, French, German and management.
So in terms of Philips, we're a global company, which means you have an amazing opportunity for international careers. I have colleagues that have gone to Australia, New York, Amsterdam, France, Spain, so pretty much anywhere in the world. We're in over 100 countries, so you've got great prospects for the future.
Yeah, and apart from that, so I'm really interested in that side because I did study French and German, so to know that there's opportunities in other countries is really great. And then also, we're a health tech company, so you probably know about the products like the more consumer side, so the toothbrushes, the beauty products, but then also we're in hospitals, so we sell MRI devices and stuff like that. So just to know that you're making a difference to people's lives is really, really important.
So in terms of our graduate schemes, we have 2 kind of main halves of the business. So you have the more engineering focused half, so we have research and development engineering schemes that are down in Chichester in West Sussex, and then we also have a site in Belfast in Northern Ireland where they write cancer detection software. We take a lot of placement students there every year from the software development side of the business. And then on the more commercial end, we have marketing and sales graduate schemes. A lot of those rotate, so you get to do a year in each part of the business, really allowing yourself to be exposed to both the kind of direct customer facing and the more office-based roles.
Yeah, so in terms of the actual scheme, so I've been at Philips now for 1.5 years, and so in the first year you get to do a graduate development session a month, so that could be in terms of like personal development. There's people that come in to talk about how to present yourself during presentations, and I found that was really useful and something which I can take from my career. And then also each graduate's assigned a mentor, so they're typically quite senior people within the business, so that can just really help with your career progression and just making the most out of that's really important. And then also there's this thing called gigs, which means that you can do a kind of mini placement within a different area of the business. So I did one within marketing, which is completely different to what I'm doing now.
So during the interview, it's really important to get your personality across. Philips really value people from different backgrounds with different experiences because it allows us to have a really diverse and inclusive culture. So letting your true personality shine is really important, although I appreciate it can be quite hard with nerves sometimes. So the other thing that's really important is to be able to talk about the behaviours that we live by. So we call them the Philips behaviours. So we always recommend candidates to research into these behaviours, and it exhibits the sorts of values that the company has. And the best way to prepare would be to think of examples of times when you have demonstrated those behaviours, as it's really going to help you during a competency-based interview.
So I feel like for me, one of the most important things, because I knew that it would be really important, was researching the company. A company like Philips, we've been going for so long now that we've been selling so many different products. It's important to know at the time of the interview what we actually sell. So I'm sure you'd probably think we would sell things like TVs and light bulbs, but if you do a bit of research on the news and on the website, that's not the case. So my top tip would probably be to type in the company's name, so Philips, into Google, and then click on the news, and then you can see any recent acquisitions, etc. So you'll be the most up-to-date process.
So you start online with a CV and a cover letter. Always recommend tailoring your cover letter to the company that you're applying for, as different companies have different schemes, different values, and different reasons that we should hire you. You'll then receive online tests if you pass the initial screening process, which you'll be asked to complete within a set number of weeks. We then move on to telephone interviews, so you'll speak to myself or one of the other graduate recruiters for about 20 minutes, just talking through your background and your experiences so far. And then we have the assessment centres, which tend to take place in February and March time, during which you'll go through a variety of group and individual activities, along with a face-to-face interview. So within your first year as a graduate, you have the graduate development programme. So this is 1 day a month for 12 months. And each day is different topics. So it could be a topic from personal branding, so how you present yourself to other people. We have an acting coach that comes in and gives you presentation skills training, everything from breathing to standing to the tone and the pace of your voice. We also have workshops that focus on you as an individual, so we do resilience training, And we also provide hydration and nutrition training to our graduates to make sure they're personally the healthiest that they can be during their time here as well.
Yeah, and then just from my experience, so within the first year, every graduate gets the opportunity to do a stretch project. So that's basically doing a project which is outside of your usual working life. So mine was with the finance team. So we did a presentation to the organisation, around 500 people, explaining about the procurement process and the finance process, just to educate people on that. So it was a really great opportunity where I interacted with a lot of new different people. I think it's really going to help me in my future career. So there's lots of benefits, but I'm just going to pick out the top two which I can think of. So the first one is agile working. So Philips really promotes agile working, which basically means not only being able to sit wherever within the office, so if whoever you're working with, sitting with them. Also, if you like to work from home, then that's a possibility as well. And then also, it's a really flat organisation, so you feel like you can talk to kind of senior managers within the organisation, different departments. It's just a really open environment to work in.
So we also offer training programs, so you can undertake further training once you're an employee of Philips. So one of our graduates at the moment is currently doing a Chartered Institute of Marketing diploma alongside her day-to-day work. So if you're interested in becoming anything from a chartered engineer to a qualified project manager, that training we will pay for and support Philips. So my highlight has been involved in something called the Halo Project. So the Halo Project are a local charity that support young people with learning disabilities. Once we learnt that young people with disabilities, sometimes only 25% of them leave the house at the weekend, we decided we wanted to do something to make a real difference for them. So we began a work experience programme, so from conception into running open days for them to come in and learn about what a company actually does and how we work, through to little mini assessment centres for people who wanted to come and do work experience with us. The best part is that my success story is a young man called Will. He has Down syndrome and he's been working here for about a year and a half now. He's a paid employee of Philips and he works 9 hours a week, and it's probably one of the things he's most proud of. He tells absolutely anyone who will listen about his job at Philips.
Yeah, and so mine's been involved in something called the Philips Excellence Competition. So this is a competition which happens every year, and it's basically anyone within the company can submit an improvement project that they've worked on. So mine was working with the Quotes and Tenders team as part of my role within Q&R, and we submitted this project and we successfully got through to the semi-finals, which were held in Valencia. So I got to stay in Valencia for a week. It was quite a stressful week. We had to present to quite senior people in the organisation, and it was just such a good experience to go from actually starting the project to ending up presenting in Valencia.
So networking is really, really important, especially when you're a graduate. It's the opportunity to make an impression on people. People sometimes get a bit scared about the idea of networking because they think it's them having to go and shake hands with senior people and try and make small talk. Networking is actually doing people favours so that they then view you favourably. We have a great example of our finance director. He once achieved a massive promotion just based on a connection he'd made with someone when working on a project with them in previous years. They held a positive regard for him from that day, and then when the position came up, he was the first name they thought of.
So the top 5 words that we would use to describe Philips would be agile, approachable, innovative,
people-centric and inclusive.